these are 10 of our mortician Tracy's most popular TikToks. Part 2. Let's go. When you pass and you're pregnant, does your body expel the baby out?
Oh wow, this question I've had 10,000 billion times on my YouTube channel. And you're talking about coffin births, which apparently is a thing. I have never witnessed a coffin birth, so I really can't comment to say whether it actually happens. Some people say it's gas build-up, pushes the baby out. Now look, I would never know if a lady was pregnant only by, like, say, a month or 2 months, because you would never tell, you can't see, so you don't know. And naturally the body breaks down and if they're buried in a coffin, so yes, the body will break down and start opening up, so the body actually just breaks down, the skin opens up, peels off, so yes, baby may fall out or come out, it's, makes sense because we're breaking down as the baby would be breaking down too. But personally, I can't answer, is it accurate? Because I've never witnessed it, but I have heard about it. So yeah, it's possible, and I can see the scenarios of how it can be possible. But like I say, I've never witnessed that. So yeah, it is a question I get many times on my YouTube channel. So yeah, so possibly, but I have never witnessed it.
Hey Tracy.
Hello.
We had a comment today.
Yes.
Do you make them smile on purpose? My mum was smiling, so I'm wondering, was that her or was it the way that she was stitched?
All right, so we're talking about suture in the mouth here. So we're talking about doing the suture with the needle in the cord, which is what I do as a mandibular suture to close the mouth. So when we do this, when we close the mouth and we suture it, it tends to sit in its natural position. So often they do look like they're smiling. And of course, when we place people in the coffin or the casket, we've got gravity coming down. So it also looks like, big gravity will pull them out. But we do try and set the features so they're looking as natural and, I suppose, peaceful as possible. So a lot of the time they do look like they're smiling. And I suppose we do make sure that they are having that last little smile, so their family can, hold their hand and have a nice thought of what they look like on their last journey before they left. So yeah, sometimes we do make sure that they look like they've got a little smile, but most of the time it's the deceased body themselves, at peace. So yeah, we do that.
Thank you.
Smiling's good.
Hey Tracy.
Hi Tyler.
We had a comment. Do you ever have to deal with maggots? And if so, what do you guys use?
Okay, maggots, often, very often, but mainly on bodies that are starting to decompose. So we're getting bodies that have been maybe out and haven't been found, that outdoors haven't been found for a few days, and they're starting to decompose, so we've got maggots. So if I'm not embalming, because embalming chemicals will kill the maggots, so say I'm not embalming, I will do a cavity aspirate, because once we've got maggots outside, they're in the torso. So I would aspirate the torso, and with this chemical, which is the cavity fluid, this is an embalming chemical, that will actually kill all the maggots inside, so that will stop them coming out of all the orifices, the ears, the nose, the mouth, and all of that. And I would definitely use that and treat the whole body. So yes, I've dealt with maggots many times. I've opened body bags and piles of maggots have fallen out all over my gown. I even had one fall down my top once. Ew. But there you go. So yes, I'm used to maggots and I can control them pretty well. Good question. Thanks, guys.
I was just wondering if you talk to the person when you're cleaning/prepping them.
Yes, I actually do talk to my deceased body. When I get people out of the cold storage and place them onto the table to do a preparation, obviously if they're in clothes already, I will undress them, or if they're in a hospital gown, undress them. And I would just get a little towel, a small towel, and then place it over, the area here, so it's dignified around all of this area, because the people get a bit freaked out thinking they're going to be naked on the table. You're never naked on the table, so we do cover you up when we undress a deceased body, and I constantly talk to them. I'm chatting away. I go, oh, Mr. Jones, oh my God, you're 97. I hope you had a wonderful life, and da-da-da. And sometimes I get people that look like my mum and dad, and I'm crying, and there's tears dripping on my poor deceased cheek, and we're having a little bit, well, they're not talking back, but I'm having a chat, So yeah, it actually makes me feel better too. because people are, you know, I know they're deceased and they're dead, but they're still people, they're still a human, and it's the vehicle that carries us through our life. So we've got to be caring.
Hey Tracy,
Hi.
how do you cope mentally? It seems like a tough job.
Yes, it can be very challenging, this job. We're exposed to, obviously, death every day, and we can be exposed to trauma and seeing babies and children. And most times it's elderly people that we're caring for, but it can be tough in the office, as we say, in the world of funerals. And my coping mechanism is, one, we have a really good team here at McCartney Family Funerals that we can interact with each other. Also, we have support networks that we can get from work, you know, specialist counselling. And I also have a great husband at home and friends that I talk to. And I'm also a runner. I run marathons, and I think exercise is a really good way to cope mentally. You know, that's what gets rid of my demons mentally. When I'm out running, you know, I can really pound the pavement. You know, sometimes I'm crying. It's just to get that stuff out of my head. I've seen something really awful. You know, I've got to clear it. When I clear it, I feel better. My endorphins are flowing because I've done all this exercise. I go to the gym a lot. So, yeah, that's how I do. And that's how I cope with working in such an environment. I mean, yeah, great question.
Hey Tracy,
Hello.
what's the youngest age you've had to embalm?
Oh, right. The youngest I've embalmed is a 6-month-old baby, which is really quite traumatic, and it's quite difficult actually embalming babies as adults, because when we embalm, we do the carotid arteries, which is the main arteries we use on a full adult, in with this size cannula, which I attach to the embalming machine, is where we would place into the carotid and all the other major vessels that we use in the femorals and all of that. But because I've got a 6-month-old baby, this is far too big. So I'll just show you the comparison. This is what we use for a baby. You can see the difference. Okay, so the arteries in the baby are really, really fine. They're really tiny and they're really delicate. So we have to use something that's really, really, really tiny. And sometimes even this is too big. So I'll have to use hypodermic needles, which I'll just show you how small they are too, which is even that one, which is even smaller. So yeah, 6 months is the youngest I've done. And that's the difference in size. Is how amazing is that?
Hello Tracy,
Hello?
we had a question today.
Yeah.
What happens when a woman dies while pregnant?
Okay, so when a woman passes away, if she dies and the baby dies, we actually don't get them in the funeral home first. They will go coronial, which means a coroner's investigation has to be done. So a pathologist has to take care of that lady first. So what happens is a pathologist would do an autopsy and remove the baby from mum. So when we get them in separated if the baby's full term. And what I do is just prepare mum and baby the same as I do normally: wash, prepare, dress, and I would place baby in mum's arm in the coffin. So that's what I would do if I got a lady that was that died at birth or with a baby that's full term. So yeah, very, very sad though conditions. But thankfully, I've never had it very often. Very rare. Thank goodness, it's very rare.
Thank you. We had a comment today. Did they still embalm my 21-week-old stillborn?
Oh, I'm so sorry you lost your little 21-week-old stillborn. Now, I can't answer that question accurately because I wasn't there and I don't know, but we can embalm babies that small. We tend to not do it arterial through the arteries. What we do is we have what we call a baby bath, and we would submerge the body and leaving the head above into embalming chemical and leave that for overnight or even 12 hours or something, and the baby will be embalmed that way. So it's more of a topical embalm than internal, so that baby would last just a couple of weeks that way. And if you wanted to take the baby home, then you can. But a lot of people have cold plates where babies are put on that small and cold plates. But yeah, I don't know if your baby was actually embalmed, but that's how we do embalms with babies that small.
Hey Tracy,
Hi.
we had a question today.
Yeah.
I saw a yellow substance on my niece's pillow at her funeral. It was very disturbing. What was it?
It's actually basically water. It's a demon. It's basically like water retention. You know, when we get water retention and our limbs, our ankles swell up, and it's pooling of water. It's a similar thing. When we die, unfortunately, obviously our body breaks down because we're all organic, and the cells start to break down. So fluid starts to leak out of them cells. And what's probably happened is the person that looked after them would have cleaned all of that up, but possibly didn't put any packing in the ear, because sometimes when the leaking doesn't stop, and we've cauterized as much as we can, we'd put some packing in, and I've got a gel that looks very clear that you put in, so that like seals the ear. So there probably wasn't any packing in, so basically it's just the water starting to seep out of the ear, and because it's mixed with lots of other fluid in our bodies and a bit blood and stuff, it turns it a little bit yellowy, so it looks like urine, but it's actually not urine. So that's all it was. It was just part of the edema and the body breaking down. So yeah, good question.
Hey Tracy,
Hello.
we had a question today.
Yeah.
What does a decomp body smell like?
Oh. Actually, I'm only pretending. Actually, it depends on the extent of the decomposition. Now, they do smell pretty strong. And the closest thing I can tell you to what it's like, so, you know when you get a bowl of fruit and it's been standing on your kitchen bench for a few weeks and it starts to rot and goes black and furry and decomposes? Basically, that's what a human body does, goes black and furry and decomposes. That smell you get with rotten fruit, that's exactly what a deceased body smells like in the first stages of decomposition. It's a sickly, fruity, strong odor. And you can't really be like the movies and put something under your lip and it gets rid of it. All that does is make that thing under your lip smell a bit worse. So yeah, it's not like the movies where you put some cream on, the smell will disappear. We just mask up, put our PPE on, full face shield, mask, and you can't smell it. Once we've washed and cleaned and done all our preparation, we can get rid of that smell. So yeah, rotten fruit, that's what it smells like, yeah.
This is my family, you are my people.